What's going on, everyone? It's Brando back with another one. Sorry it's been a minute, but I got a new video here for you today. I'm going to try to make this a quick one. So hunting season is upon us here in Pennsylvania. Well, it's been upon us as far as archery goes, which I should have filmed. I got a nice doe, and I should have filmed that one. It would have been a great night to do it, but I didn't. I was just enjoying the time in the woods and the moment. So rifle season is coming here within the next week, and kind of wanted to get a rifle for my daughter to use. She's 10, and I know that there's a lot of youth models out there, so I'm trying to think of what caliber. I started with a 30-30. Everyone's telling me 6.5 Creedmoor or 243. Buying a youth model, and while buying a youth model is great, at least in my mind, I'm like, how can I maximize the amount of time that she can use this, have something that has not the worst felt recoil, and be a formidable round as far as taking deer. So I was like, well, what do I have on hand? Because you know me, I'm trying to do things the most cost effective, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. So buying a youth model, you're gonna have kind of a smaller stock to get that shorter length of pull for the young hunter. But ultimately gonna be the same round, chucking out of a 16 or an 18-inch barrel. So at least in my mind, it's gonna be lighter and probably a little bit more recoil. So how can I get that adjustment? Maybe even create a little bit of weight to the gun. I'm not expecting her to swing it up, and hold it, because I'm going to be using like a pod or even like some steady sticks for her. So how can I have that gun with an adjustable length of pull, something that will last her farther down the road than just maybe 1 or 2 years? Because guns are expensive, let's just be honest. Looking at an Axis or a Ruger American or something, even in a youth model, I mean, we're probably looking $450 plus. So how can we get into the game less than that? Well, I have an idea right here. Hey, before we get too far into it, don't forget to check out Holy Pursuit Stream Foundation, an organization helping kids and their families get outdoors in the name of the Lord. I'll drop the link in the description. What I do have here is actually a regular Palmetto State Armory AR lower, but then I went on Bear Creek Arsenal's website and I got one of their bolt action uppers. And this is actually an 18-inch barrel. It's kind of a heavy barrel too, and 7.62 by 39 with a 1-to-10 twist rate. So obviously it comes with their flash hider on it. My plan is to throw a can on it so that she has a little bit of sound suppression and also might help out with the felt recoil. And to keep on with the cost-effective nature of this build, I actually went and bought a Monstrum. This is their Marauder 2-to-10 by 40. I'm really hoping that this will give us some success. Actually try to do not just like, other times where I've sighted on a rifle, like, oh, okay, it hits the target, it's great. I'm actually trying to put together really nice groups. I got some Hornady 123 grain SSTs that I plan on using for her hunting season. But let me just talk about this real quick. Now, like anything with Bear Creek, or at least anything that I bought in the past, it seemed that I had to make sure that everything was tight, Loctited, and nothing was falling off. This one actually seems pretty well assembled. As far as the bolt goes, not too bad. One thing I did was inside the buffer tube, I removed the spring and the buffer in hopes that this would actually kind of crisp up, this. Now I will say this, so I do have an empty mag in it. So there will be the lockback feature just like on standard ARs. You drop the mag out, obviously it will go forward. Now I will say this, if you have the spring and buffer in here, it will kind of launch this forward, almost give you like an assist, which I'll show you here in a second. But pretty much a standard, almost like regular spec bolt carrier group. Now the one thing I didn't get to try yet is I'm hoping, unlike the other Bear Creek uppers that I've had, I'm hoping that the firing pin doesn't break on this, so I might end up replacing that. But I did read and have heard and watched reviews that you kind of have to, play with this a decent amount to get it to be a little bit smoother in function. So see how that goes. Now she is a righty, so that does help her, because she'll be able to have the gun on the pod. She'll be aiming, let's say she fires, and cycle forward. Whereas me, being a lefty, oops, sorry. Again, I got to keep going with it a little bit, but have to have a little bit better lockup. So I'm really hoping that this will fare well for her, for kind of her first hunting rifle. Again, my thought was, if I can put it on an AR platform, I'm going to have an adjustable length of pull for her instead of just getting a youth model, and eventually she's going to outgrow it. Something that she can grow into. So let's get it to the range here. But before we do that, let me go ahead and throw the spring and buffer in, because I will show you, like I said, kind of almost gives it a little bit of force forward. Now, obviously there's nothing in it and it is safe. So I will will fire, because there is going to be a difference between, locking that trigger back. This is just a standard trigger that comes in their lowers. It didn't have any hang up or anything like that, but it is kind of dependent on how you push this bolt here. Overall, everything seems to be made pretty well and put together well. Now we're gonna see how it groups here in a minute. So this goes holding it and then tracking. Now you can obviously feel where it starts to hit the spring and push it, but it does almost have like that, you know, spring forward feature. And let's say you do have an empty mag in it and you're on your last round. And like I said, how it has the hold open feature, it will lock. But then let's say you're like, oh, I put a new mag in. You will kind of send it home a little bit, but you'll still have to seat it. So either way, it's gonna work. If you wanna leave the spring in, cool. If you wanna have the, have it without, it's gonna work. It does seem like it takes just that little bit of extra effort to get it back, again, because you do have some resistance in the stock. So outside that realm though, everything fits, seats up well, and again, seems to be made pretty well. We'll go ahead and put a can on. Let's go to the range and let's see how it actually performs on paper to see how this will do as my daughter's first hunting rifle. So stay tuned. I got flinched hard on that last one. Give it one more. 100 yards. This is with 3 shots with just 123 grain FMJ target loads. Not a good group. This here, definitely better. This is the Hornady SST 123 grains, the one I plan on using for hunting. I mean, I was using a like a death grip, so I wasn't doing a lead sled, and I even took an extra shot because I didn't see this hit here, thinking like, oh man, I really jerked that. I am obviously having a little bit of a jerk to the side. Realistically though, for hunting season, I need to bring it down a little bit more and get on target, but not too bad, not too bad. Gonna play with it a little bit more and see if I can show you any better groups here. Better group right here. The 2 shots touching. This one was the last shot. I kind of juked that one down a little bit, but that's a way better group. I'm not gonna lie though, sometimes whenever I'm shooting, it seems that like if I'm aiming at a grid target, I don't know why, I just like suck at it. But I mean, I probably should have brought my lead sled, but it seems like whenever I'm aiming at a grid target, I can't stack them up for some reason. Maybe I'm just too focused on it, but whenever I aim at like a silhouette target or something, just put a dot on it, for some reason it works out a lot better for me. I'm for some reason a lot steadier. I don't know. Let me drop a comment if you're the same, or if maybe I'm just a weirdo that I just do better that way. So ultimately, really, it's actually stacking up nice. I'm gonna keep shooting a little bit. Barrel's nice and warm. I'm gonna keep throwing some more lead here, and we'll see what other patterns look like. Back home from the range, I did get it sighted in. Not gonna lie, whenever I was young and sighting in my hunting rifle, my dad would take a paper plate, draw a circle in the center, and that's what we'd shoot for. I seem to do really well when targets aren't on a grid, but outside that realm, I did fire a couple more rounds out of this, do a little bit more fine tuning. I'm hitting about an inch high at 100 yards, and I do have a good, at least a good alignment as far as windage goes and elevation. And I feel that this is gonna work really well. I'm gonna keep my daughter with this gun. I will throw the can on it for her hunting season. Obviously I sighted it in with that, but I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna really kind of set a limit of 100 yards for her. I feel if I have it in the death grip and she's doing her part, gonna have some success. So we'll see how it goes. Ultimately though, this Bear Creek bolt action upper is actually pretty sweet. Whenever I was able to actually manipulate everything and go through it, had a little bit of a hang up, but honestly, that was maybe, I think I fired like 30 rounds out of this today. So I think with a higher round count, this is gonna smoothen up a lot. I do have the spring still in here with the buffer, and that kind of gave it a little bit of that forward assist there. Obviously, like I said, locks back. Acted well, did everything that it needed to. Overall, not a bad tool here. I think it's gonna make a decent hunting rifle for her. I'm really excited for her to use that this year. Not bad, Bear Creek, everything held up, nothing's loose, nothing's wobbly, and the firing pin is still working. I'm gonna try to do some filming of her hunts this year. We'll see how it goes. Ultimately pleased. Gonna get her out shooting it here. Throw some of the actual rounds that she'll be firing in deer season, the Hornady SSTs. I'm gonna let her go ahead and give those some shots herself and see how her group is, and with her steadiness and stuff like that, because regardless of how I shoot it, she needs to be able to shoot it well. Thanks for watching. More to come. I got some work to do behind me. Questions, comments, concerns, just drop a comment. I'll respond. Anyways, thanks for your time. Be safe, be kind. God bless everyone. I'll catch you next time.